And so this is it. As promised, part 3. We are going to play a game. We are going to apply the 10 tips that I have shared for success and see if it really makes a difference. Let's go and kick some balls. Hello and welcome back to FM with Old Man Phil, and if you are a brand new visitor, I'm Phil and welcome to the channel. And today this is part 3 of the 10 tips that I have previously shared, and today we're going to play a game and find out if it actually works. And today's game is going to be away at Huddersfield. Huddersfield, who are 20th in the championship, and we are top. So on the surface of it, this looks like it should be a fairly easy game. But I'm not taking it as such. We've just been beaten in the cup by Newcastle, so our morale took a little bit of a dip. And I'm also worried that FM is setting me a new challenge, because at the moment I'm finding it very difficult to beat teams who are at the bottom or near the bottom of the league. So this is not a foregone conclusion, and I'm going to have my wits about me as I go into this game. But first, let's go through a checklist of the 10 things that I've mentioned, and have I actually done them, and do I understand the implications of them? Number 1, have I trained this team for endurance earlier in the season? Yes, I have. Number 2, have I rotated the team, particularly in November, December and January? Yes, I have. And there is some rotation today. Number 3, do I have 3 tactics with which the team are familiar with, 3 different styles of play? Yes, I do. They are fairly familiar with them, but not completely familiar. We are in our first season, remember, and it does take a season or 2 before they will become fully familiar with them. Number 4 and 5, is it a cup game? No, it isn't, and so therefore I don't need to focus on training and adjust the training for a cup match, and I don't need to make sure that they're able to go through a possible extra 30 minutes of extra time. Number 6, do I understand that lines play an important part in the game and how to adjust them? Yes, I do. And number 7, am I aware of the shots on target ratio and how to use it? Yes, I am. Number 8, have I made my decisions, my logical decisions on where to start the lines at the beginning of the game and decided on a tactic to play it? Not at this point, because since tutorial 2 I've had some doubts, and so I still have not made my mind up how to play this game and where to put the lines at the beginning of the match, but we will figure that out. Number 9, am I going to watch the game as a manager and not as a spectator, and not allow the emotion of the occasion to get the better of me and to lose focus? Yes, I am. Number 10, have I learned any lessons lately? Almost definitely. And as we saw in part 2 of this series, where I conceded those 2 very silly goals, I am not going to make that mistake anytime soon. And finally, am I aware that Huddersfield may well just play out of their skins and have the best game that they've ever played, and no matter what I do is not going to affect the result? Yes, I am. That happens in football, and if it does happen, we take it on the chin and we move on to the next one. And so we are almost ready, apart from some doubts about how to start the game, but we'll figure that out shortly. But before we go to the game, if you are brand new to the channel, you like FM content, and you love to see people suffer playing this game, and I might be suffering today, then why not subscribe, like, watch, comment, do all that good stuff, help the channel to grow, help us to support the very good work of the British Heart Foundation. And so we have set our team up. There is a little bit of rotation, which is in line with what we need to do. We have 1 or 2 players who are not fully fit, but that shouldn't really make any difference. We have set our opposition instructions, and if you want to see a video on how I do that, I will leave a link to that in the description below. But now we've got to go and play this game. I have decided that we should be attacking them, and so we've gone with the high press. But I have decided to drop the line a little bit, just in case they are going to be spraying long balls. This will buy our defence a little bit of time when they are retrieving the ball, and hopefully should eliminate any mistakes. They're going to play a very direct play. I think they're going to sit back and try to catch us on the counter. So I think playing with the standard line, and we'll step up more to compress the midfield, and hopefully that will do the job for us today. If it doesn't, then we'll have to find another way to actually achieve the result. And so let's go and play this game, and let's see what actually happens. It is a game that we should be winning, and hopefully we are going to do just that. I don't know why he wants him on his weaker foot, because I've just noticed that he has a very strong and a strong foot, so I'm not quite sure why that should be. And I'm going to tell them that we have been playing very well and that we should go out there, make the difference today. Let's not stop this good run. I've got Mark Bowler, who is nervous, so worth keeping an eye on him as the game progresses. We just want to make sure that we make a good start, and if we can keep them out early on, then we should be in a good position. And so far we have made a fairly decent start. We haven't had the ball, but looking at the highlight, Huddersfield didn't look very dangerous, and that's always a good sign. And so we're passing it around. Now all I'm doing is keeping an eye on these shots on target at the moment. That's going to give me a clue on how the match is going. And that's a very strange pass back to my goalkeeper. I still have my reserve goalkeeper in goal after Stefan was injured and out for 2 weeks. So I've still got the reserve goalkeeper. The main goalkeeper is due to return tomorrow, and that's a lovely pass, and we're in space. And can we get a goal early on? That would be just ideal, and we have got a goal early on. So we've set the lines properly by the look of it. We've made logical decisions based on what we felt they were going to play, and at the moment now, our shots on target ratio is looking very, very good because we're on 100%. Ramsey's pass inside found Jones, and that was fairly simple. I do hope that we are going to have a few problems during this game and we're not just going to romp over Middlesbrough. Over Huddersfield. We are actually playing an attacking style. They are a team in 20th and we should be winning this game. But looking at the shots on target now, suddenly it's becoming a little bit worse. And although we are still winning the shots on target battle, now we are not, because Huddersfield now have just equalised. And they now somehow have managed to get their shots on target better than ours. We're not going to do any panic moves at the moment because it was a set piece. But we do need to be aware that they are now back in the game. And it is very, very close. We need to be getting more shots on target than we are. And this is good because I did want a game where there might be a few problems. And they do have another set piece. And it may be that if things don't go well, then we are actually going to have to change something here, because they are now winning the game. They have a 66% and we have a 33%, and Huddersfield are actually now winning the game. So some changes, I think, are going to have to be made, and we need to possibly think about changing our shape, but we're going to allow it to go for a few more minutes. We are in charge of the game in terms of possession. I just want to see this get slightly better. If it doesn't get better, then I think we do have to make a change, and that might involve going into the low block, keeping possession a bit more, and trying to frustrate Huddersfield, draw them out. And at the moment, there's no sign of it actually getting any better. But we don't have to panic yet, because it's still only 1-1. And I'll panic if Huddersfield take the lead. But they are looking good, Huddersfield, and they are getting behind us. And they are in control of this game. Despite the fact that we took the lead, Huddersfield are now looking like they are the better team. So changes do have to be made. And after this highlight, I'm going to make some changes, because they are very much in ascendancy now. So I'm going to go now to my tactics screen, and I'm going to change it to the low block. And now, if I want to win this game, this might seem like a very strange decision to go to the low block, because what I'm actually saying, and I'm going to push the line up a little bit, because what I'm actually saying is I'm going to become more defensive, but what I'm actually going to do is try to draw them out. We're going to be playing a very patient game, and we're going to keep the ball from them, frustrate them, and hope that then that draws them out, and then that creates space for us in behind us. But at the moment, Huddersfield are winning this game, and they do have another opportunity, and they've hit the crossbar. FM is giving me some very big warnings here, so I hope that by going into the low block, that will bring their shots on target down. Ours can go up. And I do have an injury. He's probably going to be able to play through this, but we'll see how he is at halftime. Is he looking tired? He's not looking that bad, so he should be able to play through it. And so at the moment, I'm not very happy with this team, and I'm going to tell them our shooting has not been good enough, and it hasn't been good enough. And Crooks is having a poor game, so I will tell Crooks that he's not been good enough. I'm also going to tell Archer he's not been good enough, as well as Giles. They simply have not turned up off the bus. Tommy Smith needs a rocket, and so does Bowler. Bowler started the game nervous, and I'm going to tell those players that they have not been very good, and we'll start the game. We'll keep going with the low block, keep hoping that their shots on target is going to come down and ours is going to go up. They are causing us problems still, and so it probably does mean that we're going to have to do something a little bit different again. I'm keeping an eye on that. We are at 33% and they are at 40-something%, so they are winning the game. And so what I'm going to do now is change the system completely. Ryan Giles now has got himself completely injured. So the first thing that I need to do is to change the system completely. And we're going to go to much more attacking now. We're going to push the lines up. And I do have Force who can come on that wing. Aaron Ramsey, unfortunately, can't play in that position. So maybe what we could do is bring Ramsey onto the wing. He can play there and put Akpom in here. And so that will solve the problem. But now the plan is to go much more attacking. And although it's a possession-based game, we do need to get in their face a little bit more. We're going to try and play higher up the pitch. I need to win this game. A draw will not be good enough for me. And so that's how we're going to do it. We're going to change the system, see if we can't take advantage of them now by playing a much more attacking game. We've played all our cards now as we've come up to 64 minutes. Time to make some substitutions, but we'll wait this highlight out. This is the final card that we can play. All the other ways have not worked. And there's a ball over the top. Akpom is in, and it was the third system that worked. And we have finally taken the lead. And what is quite interesting by taking the lead is that the shots on target ratio has completely changed. And we have gone up to 50% now, and they are at 33%. And that's how the shots on target ratio affects a game. I need to go and make some changes now. And so I have made my changes, but I do need to be very careful here. We're going to keep an eye on this shots on target ratio now. It's very, very close. We're just about edging it, but it's still very, very close. And at some point, I'm probably going to go back into the low block, hold on to the game. And if we don't get another goal within the next few moments, it is actually very, very close now. So what I'm going to do, I think, is we'll slip back now into the low block. And so we have made our final changes. I am very concerned that this is changing, but we have slipped into the low block now. It's the final time to close up the game, and I want us just now to try and keep possession and hold on to the ball. I want to be very, very aware that I am in a high defensive line, and there is that long ball over the top. So if that continues, if they do another one, I'm probably going to go back to a standard line and try and just make sure that they don't get those direct passes over the top and behind our defenders. But at the moment, we're just holding on nicely. If we can get a third, it'll be really cool. Ramsey into Force. Force has made it 3-1. He is offside, I believe, but that would have been good. And as we come into the last 5 minutes, I am going to drop the line down a little bit, just because they may well attempt to get these balls over the top. And I think I might have done it too late, have I? But that's well defended. Those balls over the top are going to be a problem in the last few minutes. We need to make sure that we shore it up, that we don't allow them to do that. Ball over the top, and that's not finding its man. They are going to come at us in the last few minutes. We've just got to remain defensively solid. It's very close in terms of shots on target, but Huddersfield are actually winning it at the moment again. And they have equalised, and it's gone to 2-2. And that's my error, because I didn't notice that they had sneaked in front in terms of the shots and target ratio. There's only 5 minutes to go now, and that means that we have conceded here at the end. It's an error of my making. All I can do now is go back to what I was doing before And so we are going to go much more attacking into the last few minutes. There's just a few minutes left, maybe 5 minutes. We need to get bodies up the pitch now and try and win this game. But switching it to the Brazilian is the only thing I can do now. We should have a little bit of energy left, but that unfortunately has come to nothing. I think the game is going to end at a draw. I made a mistake at the end. I didn't keep an eye on this, and as you can see, Middlesbrough have just edged it. Huddersfield have just edged it, and oh, the goal was disallowed, was it? So we actually have won the game. I didn't realise that the goal had been disallowed. I think that because we've won the game, well done, lads. It was a good win for us, and we have won the game. Huddersfield 1, Middlesbrough 2. I thought they had come back into the game, and that's why it's so important to remain focused. I think Huddersfield had just edged the game overall in terms of the stats, but at the end of the day, we changed it enough, we worked it out, we created problems for them, and we have won the game. And so that's how it works, and that's why we are winning so many games, and that's why we win so many trophies. I didn't realise. I would have settled for a draw, in all fairness. I thought that Huddersfield had edged the game. They played very well. I would have settled for a draw. I didn't realise that's lack of focus, that the goal had been disallowed. But we held on, won the game. And that's how this system works. I'm happy it wasn't the easiest game in the world, and that we had to work to get the result. But we did, and we got the result. And so I hope that you found that useful. That is the end of this series, How I Win So Many Trophies. If you are brand new to the channel and you like FM content, why not? Subscribe, like, watch, comment. Help the channel to grow. Help us to support the British Heart Foundation. FM23 is a little easier this year, I think. And if you follow those 10 steps, then you will achieve success. And we are doing this in all our saves. We are currently doing it in the live stream at Burnley. So follow along, and I try to explain everything that I'm doing as we go through these saves. That's it. All that remains to be said now is hope you found it useful. Leave a like on your way out. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.